The truth, a journey between the absolute and the relative. Truth is a concept that has fascinated humanity since time immemorial. Philosophers, scientists, poets, and mystics have dedicated much of their lives to unraveling its essence, each offering a different perspective on what it means and how it affects our lives. In this video, we will explore the classical definition of truth and its social importance, and then go beyond by questioning this concept in depth. Does truth really exist? What happens if we replace rigid definitions with a more fluid and subjective approach, yet one that is no less true? Truth, according to its original definition, the word truth comes from the Latin veritas, meaning conformity with facts or reality. Aristotle defined truth as to say of what is, that it is, and of what is not, that it is not. From this classical perspective, truth is associated with objectivity and with a faithful correspondence between our statements and the external world. In everyday use, we tend to interpret truth as something that simply is. It is the foundation upon which we build our social interactions, as we trust that people's words and actions reflect something genuine and verifiable. For example, when someone says, "I arrived at 5 o'clock sharp," we assume that this statement corresponds to a verifiable fact. The importance of truth in modern society. Truth is fundamental for social cohesion. It is the cornerstone of systems such as justice, science, and education. Without a shared concept of truth, it would be impossible to establish agreements, create laws, or advance knowledge. In justice, for example, a consensus on facts is required to determine a person's guilt or innocence. In science, progress depends on the verification of shared theories and data. In education, truth provides a common foundation for learning and understanding the world. In a world flooded with information, the idea of truth also acts as a beacon that helps us navigate through the noise and find what truly matters to us, what is relevant. In this sense, it is a concept that allows us to categorize and organize ourselves internally and socially. However, beyond being a necessary concept, is truth really as we define it? Despite its importance, truth is neither as simple nor as universal as it might seem. Each human being perceives reality through the lens of their own experience, culture, and belief system. This subjective approach leads us to reconsider whether absolute truth exists or if everything we call truth is, in the end, relative. Authors like Matías de Stefano and Ken Wilber suggest that truth is a psychological and cultural construct. According to de Stefano, what we call truth is nothing more than an interpretation of reality, limited by our three-dimensional perception and beliefs. From this perspective, each individual lives in their own truth bubble, shaped by what they have lived, learned, and experienced. In this sense, truth is fleeting and malleable. What is absolutely true for one person may be completely false for another. For example, notions of morality, spirituality, and even historical facts can vary depending on the cultural and temporal context in which they are analyzed. If we extend this reflection to other planes of existence, as some spiritual traditions suggest, we might conclude that the concept of truth is a human invention. In an infinite and multidimensional universe, where time and space are relative, truth could be as changeable as the ways we perceive reality. Ken Wilber proposes that all perspectives contain some truth, since each one reflects a partial aspect of a reality that is much more complex and vast than we can comprehend. From this viewpoint, instead of seeking an absolute truth, we should learn to integrate the different partial truths that shape our collective experience. Recognizing that truth is relative and subjective does not mean falling into extreme relativism or indifference. Rather, it invites us to be more humble and empathetic. By understanding that each person lives their own truth, we can avoid hasty judgments and open ourselves to different perspectives. This not only enriches our understanding of the world, but also fosters more respectful and compassionate relationships. This knowledge also provides us with a powerful tool for personal growth. By questioning our own truths, we can free ourselves from limiting beliefs and expand our vision of what is possible. Instead of clinging to a fixed version of reality, we can adopt a more flexible mindset, open to change. In a world where everyone defends their own truth, The challenge we face is not how to impose our vision, but how to coexist with the diversity of perspectives. Imagine for a moment that all the truths that come to us are merely pieces of a universal puzzle. Perhaps the integrity of that puzzle is not something we can grasp or possess, but rather an experience that only reveals itself when we stop searching for it outside and begin to feel it within. As the poet Rumi once said, "Beyond ideas of right and wrong there is a field. I will meet you there." So ask yourself, what are the truths that guide your life? Where do they come from? Are you willing to keep exploring them? Because this journey is just beginning, and when you recognize your truth, you will begin to build your life from that deep, personal, and genuine place of certainty, one that will make you a more empathetic, understanding, and confident person. Remember, trust yourself because the universe already has. Explore your truths, and you will find your strengths. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and share. That way, you help me continue creating content. Thank you very much.